Hello, 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 and welcome to Sub versus Dub. This is an anime podcast, a debate, room for me and my friends to get along and just or get together and just hang out and talk about fun anime stuff. And it might lead into maybe music or something else along those lines. We never really know. I do have an outline for the show, but the show is organic. It is just like us. It lives, it breathes, it has its flaws, it has its advantages. And speaking of someone with advantages, let's go ahead and talk about our guest today. Our guest today is Tim. Tim from Sequoia. He is a father, a veteran, and a sumotori, and a music producer, which I definitely want to dive deeper into because I want to find out what that world looks like. But let's go ahead and meet him. Timbo Slice. What
Timbo.
is up?
Timbo. What up?
What's up? Is there anything that I didn't mention that you think the people should know?
I do this thing. I have a party favor that I do all the time. It's pretty cool. Other than that, nothing else.
All right, okay, all right. I have to say you might be one of the sumo has a lot of artistic people in the community, and you're one of the most artistic people in that community.
Oh yeah.
I see you not only like the music background that you have, but I see your Polaroid projects. I see your Instagram, which I have to say your Instagram videos have been so good. They have motivated me to do some rowing machine, right? And work out a
hmm
little bit more aggressive. And I'm just like, I love this. And it's shot in a way where the music just hits oh so right. Thank you, Instagram, for allowing us to use real music that is popular and you won't copyright strike us on Instagram. Thank
Do you
goodness.
do you remember the generated music they used to have back then?
Oh, it was a rough world. It was a rough world. I changed one of my Instagram accounts to a business account for a second, and it's back in that world. It's back in that world. So, so all of my accounts are under creator just because it allows me to use those music and then also get the analytics.
Like I remember every time I would think of like music from they would allow us to use back then. I think of Futurama when they had unfroze that one guy. He was like, "Dan, dan, 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 dan." That's the music I think of when I think of music from back then.
Yeah, it was rough. It was rough. I'm not gonna lie. It was super rough. Uh, um, so this we're gonna hit our first bumper in our first segment, and it's the anime journey. So let's go ahead and get this party started. All right. During this section, it's all about how you started down your anime journey. Everybody's journey is completely individual. Sometimes it's as an adult for some people. Some people it's when you're younger. What was your anime journey?
So it's a little bit of both because one part of it I didn't know it was anime, right? So I think the first anime I can like visually remember seeing and like I was thinking like, okay, this is different from what I watched. I don't know if you remember, but back then, every almost every channel had like a Saturday morning cartoon thing, right?
Yes.
So Sci-Fi had one too,
Yes. At
and
six
Warner,
o'clock in the morning.
yes, and it used to be like what, like what was it like Aeroflux and like all those like stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the one
Mm-hmm.
I saw was Guyver, right? And I'm like, ooh,
Guyver.
what is
Yes.
this? And it was the worst thing I could have seen as a
Oh, yeah.
7-year-old kid.
Oh, 100%. Like there's a reason why they put them on at 6 o'clock in the morning. And it was only anime movie. So
Mhm.
that was what made it even more interesting because once you figure out that it's anime, you're like, wait, I remember who's I know this character for something, which
Mhm.
I've had that like multiple times, like Gogo 13, Tenchi Muyo. Yu Yu Hakusho. Each and every one of those movies were on the Sci-Fi Channel at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I had no
Unfiltered,
idea who these
like
characters were. Hmm?
unfiltered, right? Like the lowest rated thing on there
Unfiltered.
was like TV
Oh,
14.
oh yeah, yeah. Well, bro, when I watched Gogol 13, it was Gogol 13, Queen Bee,
Mm.
uncensored. But that was, I want to say it was basically hentai. It was like right knocking on the door,
Yeah.
right? It's like the premise is that she is a I want to say maybe a terrorist. I want to say probably
Mm.
something like that. And she sleeps with each and every one of her people in her group, and she
Mm.
like bears their children. So it's like this full cycle of wildness. But it's Gogol 13 who is the closest you can say to Japanese James Bond. And when I say
Yeah.
Japanese James Bond, doesn't quite give it the same justice because he shoots people from afar usually.
What is up? What is up? All right.
Yeah.
I, I understand that. Yeah, I was because like I think because when I first saw it, I had seen the live action first, right? And the live action one was
Interesting.
like the American one, right? It's a live action
Yeah.
movie. So I saw the same
Yeah.
design. I'm like, oh, I seen the movie. This would be cool. Nope. People were getting killed left and right. And I'm like, what am I watching? So yeah, that was like my first
That
introduction to like actual like the anime part of it. But then like a show I didn't know was anime was like Ronin Warriors, and I used to love
mm,
it. And then I found out I was like, oh,
mm.
this is like the old school designs they used to do for anime, and it's anime.
There
Oh,
is
okay.
a Venn diagram, like a very thin line between something like Ronin Warriors and Thundercat, right?
Mm,
Where it's like the artistry is similar. It's very similar,
yep,
and our young brains really can't tell the difference.
yep. And I just thought it was just another show that was on like on Cartoon Network or something. I was like, okay, cool.
Mm.
And so when I got older, I was like, oh, that was anime. Huh. All right.
Was Toonami a big influence for your anime consumption?
I think, and I can't speak for the majority, but I remember a group of my friends and like my family members. I just feel like that was a rite of passage as a '90s kid to watch
Hmm.
Toonami at some point and be like, "What is?" Because it's a huge shift in the like when you're watching like Cartoon Network because you like the Hanna Barbera stuff going on. It's all happy go lucky, Tom Avery, Tom and Jerry, like it's super like vintage stuff. Then it's like Toonami, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just action nonstop. You're like,
I
what is going
I feel
on?
like the
So,
bumpers for them were super necessary just to
uh,
be like, we're doing something different. This is
I,
different.
I think it was on purpose because like the way they did it, because originally, who was it? It was the guy from Space Ghost. He was hosting
Yes.
Toonami first before Tom became a thing.
Hmm.
So it's like you see a familiar character and you're like, oh, okay, that's the guy from Space Ghost. He's the villain. Oh, sweet. And then it's like Dragon Ball Z, right? So I think that
Man,
was like,
and those Tom bumpers, they got insane. Tom died like multiple times.
did you play the game? Did you were
No,
you able to play the game
I
during that
never
time
played the
frame?
game.
So it was
I didn't play the game.
so the game was kind of traumatizing actually because you get to play like I forgot it was a bumper special, right? And they had all the episodes,
Mm.
part one, whatever. And you can go on the website and play the game and try to save Tom from being like destroyed. The funny thing is, a lot of kids failed. That's why Tom died.
Oh, so they're responsible for the death of Tom? I didn't know that.
It was a hard game. I remember playing it, and it was such a hard game to play. And I don't know if that had such an influence on the results, but I remember like they find out the results, this, and this, and then Tom died, and we're like, did I kill Tom?
So, speaking about your anime journey and how you're able to watch things that you probably should have watched. So you're a father, and you are the first father that I'm interviewing. I would
Mhm.
like to know, how do you curate your anime for your kids?
I try to, because my oldest son, he loves it, and because he loves it, my youngest son loves it, right? So
Mm,
I think the first anime he saw was Naruto, and the first couple seasons or couple of arcs is just it's built for a certain age group, right? And
hmm
like there's some stuff that happens, but it's not to the point where it's like my kids shouldn't be watching it, right? And
Right.
so that's how I start the baby step of that. So he was watching that. Before that, he was watching this thing called Dinosaur King, and it's like Pokemon but with like
Mm,
dinosaurs, right? And
right.
so after a while, I just let him like if he sees something and it piques his interest, I'll watch it first, and I'm like, yeah, go for it, dude, because I want him to be exposed to just different, not just different shows, but like different styles and different like just different than what he usually watched, so he can appreciate just the art side of it, you know.
Of
So
course.
as long as like he loves it and it's okay with me, like he's watching Dragon Ball right now. He's watching Dragon Ball Kai, right? So
Nice.
it's
Nice.
he's into it.
I have a good friend. His son got pulled into. His son watches everything that he watched, and his daughter, because the son was watching it, his daughter watched it. So it was Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball. That I guess they watched Super. They watched Super before I watched Super. I'm not a big Super fan.
Mm.
I think it's a little garbage, but that's they will save that for hot takes a little later.
Wow, that's crazy.
I know, right? But yeah, then they watched Transformers, the original run of Transformers,
Oh,
Thundercats, the whole nine yards. Which I I remember we built this hard drive just full of classic cartoons, and we kind of pass it between like different friend groups just in case like media disappears, right? It's really
mm.
hard to find things like Thundercats, Silverhawks, and those kind of things from back in the day, Pirates of Dark Water. And I enjoy the fact that part of the journey of raising the next generation is exposing them to the previous generation and then also allowing them to kind of find their own thing, right? Like Dinosaur Kings. Like that's not a
It's
it's
not.
a
I would never. You know.
nah, nah, nah. But it's good for them to explore and find what's good for them.
Mm.
So I like that a lot. Uh, Now, since you have kids, I would love to hear what you think about the next section called Sub versus Dubbed, the debate. All right, so sub versus dubbed. Where do you sit on the line?
Okay, so people go to see me as a bad guy when I say this, but it doesn't matter, dude. It's all right because right the sub is interpretation, right, and then the
Mm,
dub's interpretation. So either or, it's not going to really match some things that are being actually said because some stuff can't be transcribed to its accuracy. You know what I mean? So
that's
at the
good.
end of the day, it's whatever you like.
Right.
Some shows sounds better dubbed. Like I can't watch Dragon Ball sub, you know, because it's a good dub. It is. Certain shows are
Okay.
great dub. Yu Yu
So when
Hakusho,
you say Dragon Ball, are you talking about Dragon Ball Z, Dragon
Z,
Ball,
yes. I can,
Z,
I,
Z?
yeah, Z. I just Chris Sabat, man. You
All
know.
right, all right, all
So
right.
like shows like that, Yu Yu Hakusho, amazing dub. Cowboy Bebop, like certain shows,
Yeah.
the American voice actor does an amazing job with, and it doesn't bother me, right? So, and then at the same time, I'm still watching because I'm such an idiot. I'm watching with the subtitles too, so I got the dub and the sub going at the same
Yep, yep, yep.
time. So they would say something and it'll interpret it on like the subtitles. I'm like, that doesn't match. Huh? Oh well. You know what I mean? So it
I
doesn't matter to me. As long as it's a good show, it doesn't
I think that, and hear me out. I might be wrong on this, but is it Does it have something to do with the way that you're first exposed? Like when we were kids, you didn't have a choice sub versus dub. It was just what it was. And
Mhm.
that's why my brain is so broken. I watched Dragon Ball Z in English up until the Frieza saga. Then I watched Dragon Ball Z in Japanese, no subtitles on the international channel, and that was Android Arc all the way to the Boo. Like I kept going because the English dub took too long to come out. And then Dragon Ball. This one's real wild. Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball GT. I watched in Spanish. Again, no subtitles. Oh, I did have closed caption in English and
Was
for
it
Dragon
due
Ball
to
GT.
availability?
Yep, that's just what it is. I live in San Diego. Telemundo is a thing, and Mexicans love Dragon Ball.
I've
They
heard.
love all Dragon Ball. They love it. They love it, right? And I appreciated that. And there was just something about Yo soy Goku. Like I'm like, oh, okay, all right, here we go. So when I hear it in English, when I hear Dragon Ball in English, it feels weird. When I hear it in Japanese, I know it's supposed to be right, but it still
Mm.
feels wrong. In Spanish, it hits me all in the heart just the right way, you know?
The crazy thing about Dragon Ball too is like, cause you said you watched the first like the Saiyan saga and stuff. You watched that in English first, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would assume through Toonami, all right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
So that one. So when we first watched it, I think that dub was actually Canada's dub. I think that was the Ocean dub,
Ooh.
which is crazy, right? That's
Yeah.
why. So yeah, that was
Yeah.
Ocean dub, and then I think we got the one that we know now afterwards. And I gotta say, I'm kind of jealous that you got a chance to watch the other sagas, right? Because growing up, we didn't know anything about like we just thought it was just made here, right? And we were
Mm.
like, man, what's taking them so long? I'm so tired of watching them travel to Nam to get there already, right? So because they would constantly run that part, the trip to Namek, they're doing the
Yep.
movies. And I think it was like
Yep.
a whole year before we got like them landing on Namek.
Let me tell you how irritated I was because I don't understand Japanese. So you're watching the Android saga, all right? You have no idea what happened after. God, I think it must have been prior to the Namek saga when I watched it. So there's these two kids walking around shopping, beating up Vegeta. I'm like, what?
Like one shot.
Yeah, just one shot, breaking his arm, right? And then like that goes through the full cycle. I'm like, I think I understand what happened, right? You're like trying to piece it together, and then next thing you know, you're stuck on Namek. You're like, oh, that's why everybody has yellow hair. Everybody has yellow hair because there's a Super Saiyan thing. Okay, and the whole Gohan turning Super Saiyan 2. I was like, what? Huh? Him training in the time chamber, right? Made me more confused because he doesn't know who Cell is. So the flashback that he has there is focused on someone that you remember, that you hate, or that you like want to get past. So he thinks about Frieza. I'm like, oh, Frieza's back. Like,
Oh yeah, you're like, what happened? How did
I
he
was
conjure
so.
up?
It was pretty. It was great. It was how I spent my Sunday afternoons. It was watching Dragon
The,
Ball in a
co-
language I do not understand.
the code in Dragon Ball. Like I
Uh,
know this guy, but who's this?
Bro, I wish there. And then there's also I don't I don't know if you had ice cream trucks where you were around when you were a kid, but they used to sell these Dragon Ball Z sticker cards,
Mhm.
and I didn't know that what Super Saiyan 3 was. So I looked at it and I was like, oh, they brought Raditz back alive and he went Super Saiyan.
Mm.
Because that makes
You're like
sense.
that makes sense, yeah. Dude, I played a game and because like a lot of this because it was just weird because like a lot of the I think like Japan had everything up to date. I guess they were like what 3 years, maybe 3 years ahead of us as
Mm-hmm.
far as like the sagas, right? So I would play games and stuff, and there would be characters. I'm like, who is this? Who's this green guy? And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh God, who's this pink kid? What am I like? What am I doing? Right? And so
I
it's crazy. There we go.
yes, yes.
My
Did
brain
you
works
ever
sometimes.
like I know you're like a sound man, right? Like you're really into sounds. The sound of Cell walking, for me, it's so satisfying. The actual sounds of his steps, the choo 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 choo, like it's just something about his actual sound that just sounds different than every other character in the show. It's one of those things that just feels like awkwardly scary. I think it also accompanies with him walking through buildings and creating an aura around him. So
I
it's a
never
pretty good like G thing.
I never thought about that actually. And once you said that, almost every character does have like especially villain, right? Because they have their own like sound with them. Because as soon as you
Exactly.
said that, I don't know why Boo, the sound of Boo moving around just clicked in my head, and I'm like, they
Yeah.
do. That's
Yeah.
insane. Yeah, that's crazy.
It's a nice little detail that I don't think any other show does, and for sure not the newer shows. Like it's like maybe if I go back into Hunter x Hunter, there's something there
hmm
where they're able to really spend some additional time, but I think that that might be a lost arc in itself. Just those extra little sounds. Gundam does it still, but that's
Oh
like
yeah,
the whole part of it, right? Like
like especially like
Zaku
mecha
sounds.
anime, the sound of
Mhm.
it.
The
Yeah.
sounds are very important, but when they're like dealing with organic organisms like a cell, a boo, or something like that, or any weird, I don't know. You can name any dumb show now, and I'm sure they don't have. I say that, but I still spend a gross amount of time watching those dumb shows. So
So
who am I?
so the version of Dragon Ball that you will watch, is it the original score or was it like the Bruce right, Falconer score?
Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z?
Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z. This it was the newer one.
So the Bruce Falconer one.
Yeah. Oh
Okay,
no 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 no! It was the original. It was the original.
was the
The
original because I
original
was about to
that got
say
dubbed over.
that's probably why because and you see it in a lot of newer animes now. Sometimes the score takes that element out. So
Right.
with the Bruce Falconer one, the amount of sounds that were going on at that time, it kind of take that element out because it's like it's everywhere, right?
I
Like the
think they
sound is
also
surrounding you.
changed the music because they lost it. Like because they
hmm
couldn't isolate it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it took a lot of that out of there. So you was just hearing the woo, 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 right, and
Yeah.
like it covered everything. So even sometimes I felt like it drowned out the moments as well, or like it took some of the emotions out of some things being said by the voice actors because you just got this music blaring, right? It's like talking
Right.
to a person in the club and you like it sounds like you're aggressive because you can't whisper, right? So you like,
Yeah.
hey, how's your day? You know, and music drowning every kind of ounce of like emotion that you're trying to put out. So everything just sounds like it's everywhere. So I think
I
that's why.
so I have three different choices. I have a question. So there's going to be three different choices.
Okay.
Um which one do you think was the more impactful? And when I say that, I don't mean culturally impactful because that's just going to be one, but in your soul, which transformation in Dragon Ball, and with that, it's like the Dragon Ball Z whole thing. Is it Goku turning Super Saiyan? Is it Gohan Super Saiyan 2? Is it Goku Super Saiyan 3? Or just for fun, Frieza perfect form, final form,
I gotta say the first one, Super Saiyan 1, right?
Super Saiyan 1.
Because how we got there was
Mm.
crazy. Because Goku was getting smoked for about
Goku
a
was
whole
getting
episode.
smoked.
To the
Yeah.
point where Piccolo had to jump in and be like, bro, get it together. What are you doing? This planet is about to die. Help! So I think everything building up to that moment, because you see Krillin get cooked. You see like him shoot Piccolo, and just the fear of like, man, I just hit him with my best move that doesn't it has like a one cure rate, right? Or like a point
Yeah.
like a 0.5 cure rate. It's his ultimate move, but it only
Yeah.
killed one person.
But
And even then, it didn't. He was reincarnated, so it didn't really kill him.
this is true.
So
That's also what makes Piccolo, at least the version of Piccolo that we have in Dragon Ball Z, actually a good character. He really hasn't really done any damage. King Piccolo, different story. But this version of Piccolo, his body count's way low. He
I
just
don't.
focus. He's really just wants to get left alone,
Yeah,
focus, pick up pyramids and drop them, which I feel like that's an issue. Blowing up the moon, I think that's also an issue.
find
He
himself.
might have really messed up this world in different ways. Maybe he flooded Florida. I don't know, but but
That solves
ultimately,
that monkey
him
problem.
him attacking Goku or being like any nemesis on that end, I don't think he's that bad. I think we're
No,
good.
I think the worst he's done is I think his only like main person kill count was Goku and Raditz, right?
Yeah, that's it.
That's
That's
it.
it. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. That's
That's
it.
crazy.
I mean, if you want to look at it that way, I mean, Gohan's probably a worse villain just because he kills Cell and he's responsible for his dad's death.
Yeah. Yeah.
So all because his android friend got broken and he got super cocky.
And it's crazy that's what it took a stranger dying, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because his family was getting whooped on in front of him. His his dad, the guy he's about. I think Piccolo was like maybe 2 years older than Gohan, right? So his best friend, Krillin,
Yeah.
this future kid that looked up to the adult version of him, right?
Yeah.
All of them getting whooped by mini cells, by little mini me's in blue suits.
The level of disrespect that Cell would send out these little Seaman, I don't remember the right name for those damn things, but like these little miniature versions of himself to destroy. It's so bad.
Look,
It's so bad.
they are literally stomping out his dad. Dad can't move. They are stomping him out. One eye, he laughing. Pop, pop. You know what I mean? That
Also-
wasn't enough motivation, apparently.
No, he didn't care. He didn't care, which is wild, absolutely wild.
He didn't care.
You know what? I think we're about to go into our hot takes.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and get into the hottest of hot takes. There's something about Godzilla destroying a town in a Mawashi that just makes me feel good.
Dude, that would be like the perfect shirt. Having like kaiju's like Mothra or like Godzilla and a Mawashi.
Yeah. Like we'd have to figure out how the Mawashi gets around the tail, but that's always an issue for my own OCD. That's for me. That's for me.
That's minor.
I have to ask, what is your anime hot take?
Get rid of fan service. I think it absolutely ruins the show.
Okay.
Absolutely. All right. And by fan service, I think you guys know what I mean.
I would like you to just flush it out just a little bit.
Okay.
Because there is, if you use the term fan service, most of us have the right idea. But then there's also others that would be like, I don't know how some people would say that black people are racist, right? So I just want you to specify what it is.
Okay. Over sexualizing the character, right? Because there's a show called Seven Deadly Sins, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it took me out of it because it was too much. I'm like, bro, like, was that even like? And it sucks because it's a good idea of a show, right? And so they start
Mm.
the show, good idea, sexual assault, good idea, good idea, pedophilia. And I'm like, bro, like,
Yeah.
what kind of pattern is? It's like,
Yeah.
well, hopefully just one episode. Nope, it's the whole show.
It's the whole show. It's the whole show.
So it takes
I
me out
think
of it.
that it makes it worse when, like, I think there's a time and a place for fan service, but not in a shonen where it's made for young people, so the
Yeah,
characters are also young,
yeah,
right? Like, I think one of the worst that I saw was uh Tensei, something like that. It's this 35-year-old is reincarnated as a baby, but he's a freaking creep. He's a creep. He's like trying to hook up with his cousin. It's it's a very popular anime. I think it didn't win Anime of the Year when it came out, but it was in the running because it is also drawn really nice. But I'm like, this you can't do
yeah.
you can't do that. This is
Like, I can't
not.
recommend. What friend am I recommending this to?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's another thing is it's hard to get people to watch anime when you have this weird crazy fan service, right? Like I can you imagine you're like, "Hey, you should watch we can just use that terrible show Seven Deadly Sins because the first season was a nice like well put out season. The fan service was garbage, but at least they
The
had
story
money
carried.
in the production and all of that. Then the show got
The Dustin was gone.
the dubbing, the animation fell through. All it was like a PNG moving around. Like they're like,
Like,
oh, let's just move this PNG around a little bit.
you ever seen Family Guy when he's like, "What are they gonna do? Cut my budget?" And he's like,
That's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it was. I was so angry. But like I was talking about like Gogol 13 Queen Bee, right? That one I feel like it's just because it has like mature content doesn't make it fan service, right? That would be saying that we could stick with like the first couple seasons of Game of Thrones before they got real weird. But it would be like saying that's all fan service. Like it's not. It's a part of the story and helps flush out the world, right? It's a but that's I don't think I think that's a hot take because people secretly love it, but it's not that hot of a take because you're absolutely right.
like you said, it has a time, it has a place, right? Like if I watch Devilman, I'm expecting, right? I'm expecting, because that's the genre, right? I'm expecting
Yeah.
there. But if I'm watching like Dan to Dan, I'm like, bro, these kids are 15, right?
Yeah, Dan's it's so hard. That's a hard show. It's so it's drawn so well. I understand what you're doing, but can we just put the characters into a college setting? Is that asking for too much?
Because I was like, dude, I like the ideal of what they're going with. I'm like, all of this makes like I get it, right? Yeah. And like people were talking about the stuff that's said in the manga, and I'm like, okay, I get it. But some of this stuff that these 15-year-olds are going through, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like it gets better. I mean,
the graphic gets better apparently. The budget.
The budget got blown up on the second season, and I'm watching it. I'm watching that show. It might be there's not a lot of good shows this season, in my opinion, but this might be one of them. Just because the storyline is a little rich, but that does bring us to our next area where we talk about the old versus the new, the plot versus the beauty, and which one's really a beast. Uh, let's talk about what you think of new anime and where we are now.
I think it, as a whole, I think it struggles with the same thing as as movie theaters as well as like movies, as far as like they have they have the big stuff flushed out, right? Like they have like the fighting, they have the choreography, they have all that flushed out. But once it hits that peak, it drops. And it's like, well, we got to fill this void of 30 minutes now, or we got to fill this void of 10 more episodes. So I feel like like they sacrifice a lot trying to stretch something out, and because of it, the stories get affected by them essentially pricing, getting more money out of it, right? Because it is a money game. So I feel
Right.
like they sacrifice the story for money because they want to flush it out. They want to add stuff in to keep it fluffed and get more viewers and get all this other stuff that comes with it. And it
Can you
sucks because
present an example of that?
um some I was one Baruto. All right,
Mm.
I've heard so much about this show that I don't care to watch it because they do exactly that. They said it's so much filler in there, and the way they did the fillers now is that they add important stuff in there, so you have to watch the filler. But one of the people was explaining how he was reading the manga and that he was in like chapter 5, chapter 6, and but that translates to like episode 100 or something.
Interesting.
And it's like,
Okay.
bro, like why?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it sucks. Uh, but compared to like a show like Cowboy Bebop, right? It did everything it was supposed to have done. It hit all the points. It's an amazing show, and like I have no urge of like, man, I should continue that because I felt like it ended well.
Yes. 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 I
So
I think that you saying Cowboy Bebop actually is a pretty interesting point because Cowboy Bebop, there is a beginning, there's an end, there's the fillers are not fillers, they're just flush in
mhm.
the characters, right? Like one of my favorite episodes, Sympathy for the Devil, right? Is that's the one where the kid is there's a person that is stuck as a child for his whole life, right? And that that episode is wild, right? That there's a lot of like it's almost like X-Files where
Mhm.
each episode kind of carries itself and then from there it bleeds into a bigger story. But that same director decided to make so all of his shows are in the same universe. So that's that show Tuesday, down not down to down, Space Dandy,
Samurai
Samurai
Sam,
Champloo,
yep, and
and
Megalobox, the one with the robotic
oh, is
arms.
that in the same universe? I didn't know
It's the
that one
same
was.
person, I think.
Oh, okay, all right, I didn't know that. But then he made a show called Lazarus. That
Mm.
show is terrible. It's brand new. It looks good on paper. They're doing everything right. So it's the creator of Cowboy Bebop working with the stunt coordinator from John Wick so that everybody looks right. But they're just spinning wheels. They're just like talking about nothing, fleshing it out. I think the whatever they're calling the anime revolution on HBO now, so the successor of Toonami, you just have to make X amount of episodes. This would have been a great movie. It would have been a
Mhm.
great movie because it would have been cut down to a point where there was no extra fluff. But
Yep.
because they had that mandate of I think 10 or 12 episodes, bro, they didn't do anything.
Mm.
There's full of like coincidences and everybody knows something about the person that they're trying to find. But it takes episodes upon episodes and somehow they don't develop any characters. It's it's terrible. It's terrible. I didn't think I was going to see something. Another one from the same studio is Uzumaki.
Mm.
Episode 1 was amazing. Episode 2 was okay, but I think that episode 1 killed the budget for the show, and then everything after that was just a PNG moving around. Like like people were moving on the beach and the shadows weren't moving, and you're like, what is happening here? So I could see that. I also think that we might be out of ideas, and I think that, and this is upon like all industry. So it's, I don't know if it's in books per se, but it's definitely in comic books, and that's a part of the allure to comic books. But it's in movies and it's in anime, where they're not only doing like these legacy sequels where they're doing a sequel long after the series is already done, like 20 or 30 years, but they're also doing these reboots. And a couple in the last clip we showed, I on purpose showed Trigun, which was a 90s anime that I thought was a masterpiece. And then that got followed by
The newer
Trigun
one.
Stampede,
Mhm.
which I just have issues with. We had Rioni Kenshin in there, and then there's a new one, which I have issues with my particular love of Rioni Kenshin after finding out that the director is,
It's a piece of
oh,
yeah,
yeah. I
yeah,
have my own issues, so I didn't even watch the reboot, but I definitely watched a couple fight scenes on YouTube because it doesn't pay them anything.
mhm,
So I feel like
yeah.
that's okay. But
That's the
I'm not
one
gonna watch
anime.
a show.
That's the one anime it hurts to like because it's like it's such a good. It's so good. The
Yeah,
'90s version is so
yeah.
good. Like
It's so good. It's
the
so good.
the battle with Saito and Kenshin. I
Mm-hmm.
love that. I love that. I love that whole scene where it's like they're fighting and bro's like, "Oh, I got him," and because he's like, he doesn't have a weapon, he's
Yeah.
fine. He moves
Yeah.
in on him, chokes him with the belt, and I'm like,
Yep.
"Bro, that's that's crazy."
Yeah.
And so it was it was such a good scene. It got to the point where it was the belt versus the holster for the sword, and I'm like, "Bro, this is beautiful." And then
Yes.
I find out the guy that made it, he sucks. I'm like, "Bro,
Yeah.
come on."
Yeah. I know. I know. And I also I my last episode that I did was a deep dive into Berserk.
Mm.
And that was a really wild run because I like played around with the manga, but when I knew I was going to talk to somebody about it, it's like, let me go ahead and read the manga. I don't know what's wrong with me that my brain says that, but I I like read the manga. I did every deep dive. I accidentally got into Hellraiser, um, which got weird, got real weird for a second, just because
Mm.
I see correlations between the God Hand and Hellraiser. I watched the original anime, and I was like, wow, this is saying a lot. And then I watched the new version of the anime, and I was like, you're missing a lot. And then I watched the continuation of the anime, and I was very disappointed.
Do you think it's due to I don't know. It feels like there's more emotions,
Mm,
maybe more like life in hand drawn anime.
yeah,
Like Ippo's the best example of that, right? I loved the fighting and like when he became champion, right? It's
yeah,
hard for me to get into the newer designs for some strange reason.
yeah.
But like all the hand drawn stuff, amazing. And
That I
I think it
think I
just
think
gives
it
so much
has more
character.
soul to it, right?
Hmm.
Like music itself, right? Music that's made by AI doesn't have a soul. Will I use it for bumpers? Yes, because I don't know how to make music. But I will definitely do that. That's I cast the
Hey,
stone. I live in a glass house. I broke my house because I threw it from inside. But that's fine. That's fine.
mhm.
But actual music, it's truly magical, right? Like when a musician sits down and makes a piece. And for me, there's always levels to it, right? I'm more of a fan of the singer songwriter that creates their own beats and goes from there. Like I really dig that because it's really more personal. But then also the overproduced ones, you can see why a bunch of people put hands on to Beyonce's music. Because that album 444, oh,
Mhm.
hey, hey, it's flawless. All right, it's flawless. After that, she thought she could rap, but that particular one, she knew she could sing and she dug in. Right,
Mhm.
like you can hear it in the soul. There is no AI that can do that same thing.
Yep.
Right, and I think that colored, computer colored doesn't give you the same. There's a reason why Miyazaki has made movies the same way, hand drawn, hand colored, since he's been working. And his
Mhm.
son came in and decided to make the worst movie that Studio Ghibli has ever made. And that it was the something witch, Wicked Witch, or something along those lines. But
Mm.
there was no emotions. Everything felt stale. Like you could tell he just like had a program and worked with it. It was absolutely garbage.
I
And
just started watching Studio 2 years ago, actually, and I'm like,
oh,
man,
really?
yep. I'm glad I did because I'm able to appreciate it, right? And I'm like, man, this is beautiful. Like, it's everything about it is perfect, right? The like you said, the color grading, the music, just the
Mm-hmm.
tone of it, everything. I feel like everything has a purpose,
Mm.
and it's insane to watch something like that and just be so engulfed in it and just lose track of time. Because I watched like
Which
three of them
which
back to
movies?
back.
Which
I
movies
watched
did you watch?
the was it Pork Russo, the one with the
Yep.
pig pilot,
Yep. Porco Rosso.
um, the delivery one,
Kiki's Delivery.
Kiki, and then I watched the one. It's the one. I'm horrible with names, as you can tell. I'm still new at it.
It's
It's
all
the
good.
one. Um, it's the one with the wolf, and the person has like the war paint face on it. I can't remember the name of it, but I watched those.
Is it The Boy and the Beast?
Something like it's I'm drawing a blank on it,
It's okay. It's all right.
but
It's all right.
it was amazing. It was amazing to
Let
watch.
let me throw in a couple recommendations. One of my favorites, and this is one that you should watch with your kids. Totoro.
That's
Totoro
on my list.
is
Yeah.
it's amazing. And Howl's Moving Castle is
Mm.
is amazing and underrated because it's an IP that people know and love. But Lupin the Third, Miyazaki made a movie on Lupin the Third. It was the first movie that he ever made, and it's the most beautiful vision of Lupin the Third ever. And I think it's the Castle of Kovosia or something along those lines. That
Mm.
name is in the back of my head somewhere. But if you look up Miyazaki, and then Lupe or not Lupe, Lupin the Third, you will find it, and it's it's my favorite. It's my favorite of
Okay.
his, and it's his first one, and it really is a masterpiece. And you can
Mm.
see he's never going to retire fully. He's going to say he's retired, and he'll keep coming back. There
Yeah,
is no end for this man.
but it's such a huge following for studio as well. So I don't think that'll be something that would never go away because it's so ahead of its time. There's
Mm.
certain things that just feels ahead of its time. And so when I was watching it, it was crazy to watch it and then be like, man, this was made decades ago.
Yeah,
I feel the same
yeah,
way for like Akira. It's like it's
mm,
amazing to watch that
yeah.
and be like, man, that was made years ago, and it stands.
1986
It's insane. It's crazy.
makes
And
no it makes no sense.
like I can't imagine the amount of like time went into that, right? Because I'm sure that shaved some life off of them. I'm sure. I'm sure there's a pound of sweat and blood somewhere.
Yeah.
So it's crazy to watch shows like movies like that. Like he had one called Memories, which is a lesser
Mm,
known one that he had did, and it holds up because
that holds up well.
it's on. I think I saw it on like Tubi. I saw it on Tubi,
Okay.
and it's incredible watching movies like that and just being like, wow, this was really made this year, like that time frame, and it's crazy. So
Is that yeah.
hats off to him for putting all that effort into a beautiful art like that.
He is I think a true miracle for the genre of anime,
Mhm.
right? Oh man, we could talk forever. Uh we will definitely come back to this, but we're going to stop here. I'm going to do a one shot. So the camera's going to be right on you. I want you to plug what you want to plug. If you want people to follow your sumo journey, maybe you're started pushing out music again, any of those things, tell people where to find you. And then at the very end, give me one quote, and that'll be the end of the show.
All right, so I'm gonna plug this, right? There's a show called, I think it's called Backstreet Girls, right? It's funny. If you're into like the off the wall humor, it's hilarious, right? So you should check that out. Follow me on IG, Tim Lindsey Sumo. Watch my journey. For the most part, I'm getting smoked, but hey, I'm still learning game, right? And if I was to say a quote or something inspirational, it would be something I heard a couple of days ago, and it's basically good root, good fruit, right? And what I took from that quote is that everything that you're starting from ground up, the effort and the time that you put into it will help grow with something beautiful, right? And that could be taken physically, like an actual thing. It could be taken spiritually or mentally. So the time and effort that you put into something in your life, it will produce something worth its time. And that's it.